Where are you now? Planet under the sea, under the sea. Where are you now? Another dream. The monsters running wild inside of me. I'm faded. I'm faded. So lost. I'm faded. I'm faded. So lost. I'm faded. These shallow waters.
What's up, guys? Ranger Pap here once again, and welcome back to another video. I haven't posted in about 4 weeks, and there's many reasons why. This is primarily a update video, explaining everything that's happened again. So I originally said that I was going to do a video, like a weekly update every single week. Well, that was going to work because I had finally got my schedule figured out, but that didn't happen. I ended up doing a lot more stuff, was hanging out with more friends, more film opportunities, more car opportunities ended up happening, and a lot more stuff ended up happening. Family events were going on, so I need time for that. And I try to bring my family life out of YouTube. I don't like to bring them in, but so I had to do that. Also, I now have a job, so that also cuts off my schedule. And also, the announcement I'm making is that I am going to be joining the National Guard. I'm joining the National Guard. So I've been talking with recruiters since March. I've been trying to get stuff set up, so I still need to be within weight requirement, so I still have to lose some weight, so I have to make time for also exercising more often and losing the weight, so I can go there. So what I'm going to be doing in the National Guard is I'm going to be a mechanic, since I have little to no experience, and I have a lot more stuff coming up with mechanic stuff on my own. But primarily this is gonna be it's a full like in-depth tour of like everything automotive in the National Guard, and I get paid to do it. So that's something I'm gonna commit to. This is something I wanted to do for years and years and years. But yeah, so that's the big announcement that I've been waiting to tell you guys. So yeah, that's quite an announcement. Second thing is, I just ordered a bunch of new parts. There is a event which I am going to be filming, August 21st. It's going to be happening in Wappingers Falls, New York. It's a big car event called Ballpark Banger, which it's a really, really big car event. So if you happen to be in the area, come check it out. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be doing a lot of filming, and my car is going to be there. I've ordered parts for it. So it's currently shipped as is. The one thing that I had shipped right now, and I had literally just got them in today. Like, I just got these in today. These, I bought JDM Red Type R badges, but these aren't just knockoff ones. These are actually legit JDM proper Honda genuine parts. I haven't even opened the package yet. I mean, like this I opened up obviously, but this itself I haven't even opened. And to find out why to tell between a knockoff to tell the difference between a knockoff or a real JDM emblem is Procivic figured it out. They only import it directly from Japan. This is a Honda genuine part. See, Honda genuine parts. Honda Motor Company has a serial number and everything, and made in Japan. This is a genuine part. Now this is I believe this is the rear JDM emblem, and this is the front. Obviously the front is a lot bigger, but like I said before, I haven't opened it, and like I said, genuine parts. The camera will focus. Genuine parts, serial number, made in Japan. So these are, so if you want to figure out what's the difference between knockoffs and real JDM, I will be leaving a link in the description for procivic.com. That's where I got these. So I got a good deal on them, and they definitely, their site I can trust, because they came in, did good job, and you know, it even like it's good quality stuff. So I can't wait to get this installed on the car. So that's the one thing. The next thing I have mods to do is I originally had a subwoofer in the car. I did record it, but the video ended up coming out so bad to the point where there was just no footage. So what we did was we took out the airbox assembly where from the battery. We took out the airbox assembly. We took some interior pieces off on the driver's side. We took them off. Got access to a little rubber grommet. That's a little rubber grommet where access is from the main wiring harness from the engine into the cabin. We cut a small little hole directly. We just literally edged it out, creating a bigger hole in the wiring harness slot. So we stuck an 8-gauge wiring through, ran it up, behind the ECU, up against the strut tower, behind the brake fluid, all this crazy, you know, all the stuff that the car needs to function, pretty much avoiding every single thing. And there's a fuse sitting right on top of the fuse box, connected right to the battery, and then all the wiring is underneath all that plastic we ripped off, all the way to the back seats, and connected to a JBL GTX 500 amplifier, and goes up into normally when you do a subwoofer, you have to splice into a speaker or essentially rip the dash apart. Since my dash would be a nightmare to do, and I would just say, you know, fuck it, I'm not gonna do this subwoofer, we got a line output converter, which actually saved our asses. This line output converter allowed us to splice into the back speakers. So we ended up splicing into the back speakers, and the back speakers were completely exposed. That was from factory from Honda, so we didn't remove anything. We literally just spliced in, did some soldering, plugged it in, then we added a toggle switch to turn the sub on and off. It's directly linked to the amp, so every single time I want to use it, I just flip the switch on, the sub's on. If I don't want it, turn it off, and that's it. So I don't need to do any unplugging. It took a long time to do, but it was like properly done, so we wanted to do it the right way. If you want something done good, make sure you guys do it the right way. Don't skip parts. Don't skip it. It's incredibly difficult. So yeah. So there's a bunch more parts coming in. One of them is that. The other one, the subwoofer box itself, it was literally a recycled box. It was a crap box, but it had air leaks like crazy. So we ended up fixing it for, I don't know, for a good amount of time. But that was not when the weather started to heat up. When the temperature started to rise, all the tape that we had to seal off everything started to melt, and it wouldn't want to work. And now it's constantly air leaking like crazy. I mean, sometimes it will play good if the temperature is not hot. If it's hot, then forget it. It sounds like crap. But my friend just gave me this new box that we're going to be, we're going to be building word adapters. We're not going to do any electrical tape, or we're not going to do anything wrong. We're going to literally just drill, cut, whatever we want, make a brand new box with everything on it. It's just take everything we have from the old box and put it on to the new one. It's so simple. So that's exactly what we end up doing. So as far as so the parts that are coming in, I'm not going to tell you guys all the parts, but one of the parts I did get, and it's actually sitting right next to me, but it's actually right here. What that is That is a Logitech. It's a gaming racing wheel stand. I bought it on Amazon. It was cheap. It's actually it's actually pretty good quality. Oh, my camera just randomly zoomed in. Stuff like that. So that stand right there. That is the so that's what we have to do. So that's the stand there. I bought it on Amazon. It was pretty cheap. It's actually really good quality. Took a little bit some time to get it used to because the instructions weren't exactly that clear. But I'm actually glad to see what this is gonna do. So I bought an Xbox One racing steering wheel with with pedals. Not only 2 pedals, there are 3 pedals, and I bought a 6-speed shifter. I could have done the Thrustmaster, but that was a lot more. But it would have been $900 in total. It would have been like $800 compared to $500 in total. So I went with this instead. It was cheaper. So that is still coming in. So everything that's going to be coming in as far as mail is tomorrow. It's tomorrow for me, but it will be today for you guys. August 5th, which is a Friday, all the way to the 10th. So that's when parts are coming in, and the event is Sunday, the 21st. So I have to get all those parts. I have to get this. I have to get all my other parts. I have probably at least I think 5 more parts that are still coming in the mail to get on my car before the 21st. So. But the last video I uploaded was an unboxing video of the AEM cold air intake, and I've yet to actually post it. The reason why I had yet to post it because my schedule changed. That's when my schedule actually changed. That's when I started working. Everything's starting to go hell again. So I have the video done. You're gonna be seeing this video first, as to figure out why I disappeared. Again, I have a thing of disappearing acts, but it's not like I don't care about you guys. I really do care about you. It's just I can't really make time to really make as much videos anymore, and to edit them alone takes hours for me, and I don't have a very good computer to like edit anything, and I don't have a lot of storage left on the computer anyway. I'm like almost completely gone. I have a hard drive for it, but I haven't moved anything off of it yet. And I'm still working with a program that I bought over a year ago, that actually 2 years ago, that it's still not as fast as it should be, but I'm happy with it. But I'm still trying to get I'm trying to get a computer that's primarily focused on editing. A computer that's focused on editing. So the gaming videos, I will be showing an unboxing of the gaming wheel and the shifter and some gameplay with it. I'll be doing some of that, so don't you guys worry. I'll definitely be doing that. But as far as anything else, oh yes. So let me go back to the intake. So we got the intake installed. I have 5 hours of footage. It took us to do 5 hours. They said that you can do it in 30 minutes, which I believe was absolute bullshit, because for us, we had to wait until the engine was cooled. Otherwise, we would have burned ourselves alive. We didn't know if we had to drain the coolant or not, which we didn't actually have to drain and flush the coolant. We just had to actually, we used a multi-transfer pump and sucked the we sucked the coolant right out of the hoses, so we were able to take that off. It was literally no mess, and all the coolant that came out was only in the hoses. So that was actually a good thing to have, and a kind of a savior, because we were struggling. I mean, seriously, we were struggling to really get the old system off. And since it's a very economy car, they make this stuff on purpose for us enthusiasts to modify our car, because they don't want us modifying our car. But it took us I shit you not, 3 hours just to remove the stock system, because the bolts were corroded as hell. They were shit bolts, so I was praying to God they wouldn't snap on me when I go to loosen them. One of them did fucking snap on me, so I had I had extra bolts laying around anyway, so I quickly reused that, and it was just they were in the weirdest angles, and it got lodged in the tightest spaces. I don't even know how the fuck Honda even got those parts in that engine bay. If I had like an EG hatch or an EK hatch or something like that, I personally like hatches for Hondas. Or if I had like a 90s Honda in specific, this would have been so much easier because the amount of clearance you get in the engine bay alone and underneath the car is quite amazing. And with this, it's a lot harder because they enclose everything in so much plastic. I shit you not. There's so much plastic on the car that it makes it impossible. The front shroud not the shroud. The cover for the whatever the hell it's called against the windshield wipers. That thing comes out so far, it comes over the spark plugs and the fuel injectors. They go over it. So if I need to do some preventative maintenance, like change my spark plugs, I would have to literally go take it to a shop, take the motor out just to get them replaced. Because you can't actually, unless they were to take it off. I don't know how the hell to take it off, but if I'm guessing you have to take the whole fucking front piece off just to get to the spark plugs. My God, I would have gotten myself a 90s Honda, but no 90s Honda that was in running condition. I had wanted a 90s Honda. Like, originally, I never wanted a Honda in the first place. I hated them. I was a big Subaru guy. Until I got in one and I drove one, I was like, okay, I know what it's about. And then I actually drove a Honda S2000. I never bothered to record a video because I forgot my camera. So, I was all giddied up. I was like, oh yeah, I get to drive an S2000. I love that car. And I drove it. It was exactly like it says. You know, short wheelbase, crap, but I don't care. 6-speed gearbox. I loved it. I was screaming in third gear, VTEC, all the way through. I had fun. I loved Honda. And just keep going. I'm crazy about them. And the JDM life. So eventually we got the parts out. We put the AM intake in. So it cost me $275, which is pretty fucking expensive. I could have gone an AEM air filter and just went to AutoZone or like Home Depot and got a bunch of silicone joiners and like piping and hose clamps, and I would have just done it myself for like much cheap. And the support on the thing is crap, but I like the color, I like the sound first thing, and it actually feels a bit more lively. Like, it actually wants to move a little bit more. It feels in cold air intakes are not even supposed to be adding that much horsepower anyway. They claim on the box is 4 horsepower and 3 foot-pound of torque. That was what they said, but it feels like it could just get up and go a little bit more. It doesn't feel like it's struggling to move, because it felt like, unless I was revving the shit out of it, at least when I rev the shit out of it now, it actually is moving a lot quicker than I than I thought it would be, which is actually quite a bonus. But I definitely love the sound. The color alone is good. It's super stealthy also. And I'm actually have gotten more fuel economy. The most fuel efficiency I've ever gotten out of the stock OEM system was maybe 29.9, and that was the mix anyway. But with this, I'm at 31.8. I just did an hour drive. I just did 2 hours of driving today on my way home from work. 2 hours from both and back. 2 hour drive in total, and I have 31.8 miles per gallon. And I take some roads that are on highway. So when I merge onto the highway, I go into a lower gear, I downshift into a lower gear, and I will punch it, redlining, screaming like crazy, from first to third to fourth, and the miles per gallon will drop to like 7 or 6, and then it will go back up immediately, like 5 minutes of just cruising. like not even 5 minutes of cruising, like maybe like a minute later it goes back up, which is incredible because the car can thrive off the cold air a lot more than the hot air, because what the intake pipe originally does, the OEM system, it would go from it would be from the throttle body to the big air box down where the fender is, where the current filter is sitting. That's where the cold air intake is sitting. It was already a cold air system, but I didn't want to be that guy and cut any OEM stuff, because then if that happens to break, I would need to replace it, and that thing was already a bitch to take off. So this piping would stay down and then would curve back up, going into the engine bay, sitting right next to the battery and sucking in all the hot air that was coming. That was either the battery was giving off or the engine was giving off. So it wasn't good, and obviously the fuel, and obviously it didn't feel like it. It feels a lot better from freeing up that just doing that. So, and definitely the sound of the engine. I'm getting more sounds from the engine than I would think with an exhaust, to be honest, because it sounds a lot more lively and it sounds a lot louder with this intake in, because there's no restriction. It's just air filters on the bottom. The one thing with cold air intakes I do have to mind is that you really have to be careful, since it sits in the fender, or like right in front of the fender. You have to be careful when you're driving in rain and to avoid puddles at all time, because what that is, and especially that those air filters, you have to clean them quite a lot, because they can suck up a lot more dirt than the other system can. And my filter was already desperately neat. It was never replaced from the first owner. It was a one owner car. Got it used. The air filter was never ever replaced since he drove it off the lot. So that was just a kind of a bummer. So the air filter is absolute crap. So I have to clean this one now, because I just took a look at it earlier. It is dirty, so I do need to clean it. But the thing what I'm saying is, since this sits a lot lower, this can pick up a lot more dirt off the road that gets sucked up into the car, and also it sucks in a lot more water. So if you hit a puddle, that intake is going to become a vacuum, and it's going to kill your engine. So you do have to mind that, and you do have to be careful when you go driving in the rain. You really do have to be careful. So stay to the limits when you're driving in the rain. Don't speed. Stay to the limits, and don't go full throttle, because when you open it up, it's gonna suck more air, and the more water that's hitting, a tiny bit water. But if that water doesn't evaporate by the time it gets to the throttle body, that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're kind of fucked. And depending on how much water comes in, that's never a good sign. So, but honestly, what I can give to the actual intake, as far as pricing, quality, the price, I can say, for a fucking cold air intake, I could have done that for like 50 fucking bucks. So I don't understand why do you have every fucking intake has to be over $200. I don't understand it. But this one, I got a warranty with it, just in case something went wrong with it as I'm driving. And something did go wrong where I hit a fucking pothole really badly, and it yanked out the mass airflow sensor. So shit went down. I'm not gonna put that in. So the pricing, it's way too expensive. I don't know why any cold air intake system is over $200. I don't understand. It shouldn't even be over. It should only be like 120, or no, not even 120. It should be like $100 for a true cold air intake. Just the intakes are so expensive, and I got mine in gunmetal gray, which matched my paint color. The only reason why I got that is because it was literally a $15 difference to get the chrome polish, and I don't like chrome. I'm not a big fan of chrome. I mean, these do have chrome, but at least it's silver plastic, which is nice. But so that's just a big old downer. But so the pricing, over expensive for any intake system, is over expensive. The quality, I would have to say that would be I would actually give that. I would give that. I'll give that an 8.5 out of 10. An 8.5 out of 10. I would definitely give that. Sound wise, sound is fucking great. That's a perfect 10 out of 10. The sound is amazing. The performance, obviously being only so little, it actually did really change the car. I mean, like, something the video will not, if like someone was recording a video in my car, they wouldn't really, the camera wouldn't tell, but the person who's in the car would actually feel it. It feels a lot faster than it should. And the sound, even if I got like 0 horsepower from this thing, the sound alone was just amazing. So that was kind of hard to beat. Otherwise, the AM cold air intake is actually pretty worth it. So if you have a 2012 Civic, so you have a 2012 Civic with a 1.8 liter engine, and you want a nice cold air intake system, true cold air intake system with a warranty, go with AM. They got the others like K&N, except that one was $320. So other channel news. I know this video is going to be really, really long. I'm sorry, but this is something that I've been waiting to tell you guys. You know, just get off my chest. You know, because it sucks that I can't post enough for you guys, because my schedule constantly just gets messed up all the time, and I hate it. I hate it when it gets messed up all the time, because I can't be consistent, and I can't have this channel growing. So, so survival the infection. What I'm going to end up doing with episode 2, I'm going to be cutting episode 2, since it is going to be over 30 minutes long. I'm going to cut it down into 2 different episodes. So it will be episode 2 and 3 will be posted eventually when I get the special effects done, and then episode 4 will start filming, and then I'm going to take a break with surviving. I'll probably go up to episode 5 and then maybe stop, and then do season 3, the Reclaimer, do season 4, and then you know, vice versa, and do some more films. In the near future, I know both Survival the Infection and the Reclaimer series, the acting sucks, everything sucks. I know it sucks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep to a promise. I'm going to eventually in the future, if I happen to make it big I'm going to reboot the entire whatever season's out. Currently, say if I get made up to 5 seasons, I'll reboot the entire season. Good visual effects, more action, good acting, really nail the story. And I'm gonna be writing, and I'm still writing the books for it. Like I've still writing the books for him. I wrote the book that pretty much explains season 1 and 2. And I'm still working on a 3rd book. So I have 2 books fully made. I only have 1 copy. I haven't gotten them. It's literally just in a notebook, so it's not legit book yet. But soon that will come. Surviving, and that same goes for Survival the Infection. Survival the Infection will be the exact same thing. Will just be like that exactly. So hopefully that's gonna work. So, I don't think there's really anything else, guys. I'm pretty tired. It's about like 12 o'clock for me. So, I wanted to make this video to tell you guys what's been going on. So, if you have been with me for so long, thank you guys so much for supporting. And any of you guys newcomers, there's been a lot of stuff going on. If you're not caught up, go back and watch some of my channels so you can keep up. So this video will be posted tomorrow. For me tomorrow, you guys will be today. And then after this one is posted, I'll be doing the cold air intake and Then the next couple days, I'm going to be receiving some packages. So when I do receive those packages with the car parts, I will be doing unboxing for those. But also, I would have done an unboxing for this, but you know what? I couldn't wait, so I had to show you. So unboxing, yay! Until I start putting these on the car, these will stay as is in a nice little package, so I don't lose them. So they will stay there as is. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have been staying with me for this long, props to you guys. You guys are awesome. And as always, leave a like and subscribe and share with your friends, and You know, and Rangers lead the way. And yeah, if Rangers do lead the way, since National Guard's going to be coming up soon too. Have a good one.